Have you ever remembered something that you once did and realized that it made no logical sense whatsoever? Or maybe you've experienced something that you just couldn't explain. Why do these things happen to us? Upon reflection, you might have had no idea why you thought something or did something. Is there perhaps someone controlling our minds, manipulating every decision we make? Or maybe our minds just aren't that perfect, and our brains tend to make assumptions and become easily influenced by salient information in our surroundings. Want to know how they work? Well, here are 6 fascinating phenomena of the human mind explained. 1. Reverse psychology. When we were kids, there were absolutely a lot of things that we wanted to do that would actually put us in peril, which of course our parents stopped us from doing. However, during those times when our childish stubbornness just wouldn't budge, our parents would tell us, go ahead then, do it. And just when they technically allowed us to do something, we wouldn't want to do it anymore. Instead of doing what they're actually telling us to do, we would do the complete opposite and not put ourselves in danger, which is what they wanted in the first place. This technique, called reverse psychology, is a kind of manipulation, where the one manipulating tells the one being manipulated to do a certain thing, and that would cause the person being manipulated to do the exact opposite. Reverse psychology is supported by the reactance theory, where the people who feel that they lost their sense of control will take it back by doing the exact opposite of what they are instructed to do, even if it goes against their own personal interests or desires. Another example of reverse psychology is to tell someone they are not able to do something, say pass a test, in which the reaction of the person being told is to study harder and actually pass the test. 2. Halo effect. It is not uncommon for people to make generalizations and assumptions toward another person. When we notice something about a person, especially something like a physical aspect, we tend to use that central trait to form our overall impression of them. The halo effect is a type of cognitive bias. A specific definition for the halo effect would be on the physical attractiveness stereotype, wherein most people would rate a person favorably with positive characteristics based on his or her attractiveness. The principle of what is beautiful is good is a common assumption for most people. Just like how we see celebrities as attractive, influential, and likable, we tend to perceive them as also being smart, funny, and good. 3. Pygmalion effect. According to Rosenthal and Jacobson in 1968, the Pygmalion effect is the likelihood of an expected behavior to occur because it is expected in the first place. Their work has shown that the expectations of a teacher influences the performance of the student. Therefore, when the teacher has positive expectations of the student's performance and with the student's awareness of that expectation, the student will most likely perform positively. But on the other hand, if the teacher's expectations are negative, then the negativity will influence the student's performance, making it worse. The Pygmalion effect can also happen even if the expectations are not placed upon by other people. Self-expectations can also cause this phenomenon to occur. For example, your prediction of failing to perform an activity will cause you to decrease or not even put in any effort at all, which will then result in you actually failing. Just like when you predict to be successful in something, you will try to exert more effort into the process, which will in turn result in your success, making your prediction or your expectation come true. 4. The cocktail party effect. You may not notice this much, but when you're in a really loud place and a friend is talking to you, you are able to block out the other noises to focus solely on your friend's voice. This underappreciated ability of ours is called the cocktail party effect. Even when we're talking to someone or listening to music, we can often hear, sometimes accidentally, other people's conversations, and we're able to tune out all the other noises. A study in 1953 by Colin Cherry at Imperial College London demonstrated the separation of stimuli our hearing abilities can perform by playing 2 different messages at the same time. He then discovered our ability to filter some of the things that we hear to concentrate on a specific stimulus. A good example of this is when we are outside, hearing cars honking, people talking, and a bunch of other things. Sometimes out of nowhere, we hear a certain song playing in the distance. We might not have noticed the music right away, but when we stay longer and absorb our surroundings, gradually we start to hear the song despite the other disturbances. 5. Spotlight effect. The spotlight effect, a term coined by Thomas Gilovich and Kenneth Savitsky in 1999, refers to the tendency of assuming that many more people are noticing something about us than they actually are. A test done as part of the many studies in social psychology was to let a few students wear a very conspicuous yellow t-shirt in class. The students wearing the shirt greatly overestimated the people who noticed them, thus displaying the spotlight effect. According to Dr. Nathan A. Heflick, the spotlight effect is the result of egocentrism, when we regard ourselves as being in the center of all things. This does not mean, however, that we are narcissistic or selfish. It's just that we mainly use our own experiences and perspective to judge the world and the people around us. So when the other students did not notice that person who wore the yellow shirt, it was because they are the center of their own universes too, and most probably were too focused on other things they care about to notice it. 6. Overview effect. The overview effect, despite it being an uncommon thing to experience, can be profoundly moving, inspiring, and emotionally challenging. The overview effect can only be experienced by astronauts and cosmonauts during or after they see planet Earth firsthand in its entirety, causing them to be overwhelmed, as reported by many. They see the planet in the point of view of outer space, ignoring the differences and boundaries, whether racial, cultural, or religious. The after effect of this experience causes the astronauts to return home with a renewed sense of how we're all connected and a desire to take care of the Earth and its inhabitants. Those were just 6 interesting phenomena of the human mind. Let us know about a time you've experienced any one of these, or if you've encountered any others. Thanks for watching!